I claim this planet in the name of the Earth.
Check, check, check. Is there sound? Is there sound? Is there sound? Is there sound? Can y'all hear me? All right, just wanted to make sure. All right, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? You already know what it is. All right, man. I appreciate it. Sorry about the small technical issues and shit. But we getting everything underway. We back. We back. So got some things we're gonna talk about today. I'm running a little bit late because I was actually not gonna do the show today, to be honest. I really wasn't. I was just gonna fucking take a week off. Because the fact of the matter is like I got a lot of shit going on, but at the same time, man, I don't like not doing the show when I say I'm gonna do the show. So I decided, I'm just gonna go and do the show, even though it's kind of not complete. All right, but we're gonna talk about a few things, and real quick, I want some people to understand. I know I've been kind of going in on this whole Dave Chapelle shit. You know, and this is probably going to be the last time I talk about the whole Dave Chapelle situation for a little while. Okay. But there's a few things that I kind of do want to talk about this whole Dave Chappelle situation. I want to talk about it a little bit more. I've been listening to people and then their arguments about the whole Dave Chappelle thing. You know what I mean? And what I've been noticing is that there's a lot of black folks out there really, really, really going hard for the black trans community. And that's a great thing for them to do it. But they're pointing their fucking headlights in the wrong place. And they really think that if you go against this general narrative, that you are transphobic. And you probably transphobic because you like men or you like trans women and you just need to get over it and a whole bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? There's a dude online who goes by the name of the Conscious Lee. And I really do respect this brother. I do. I got mad respect for this brother. He does a lot of really good shit. He puts out a lot of good information. But I'm going to be honest. I think he got it wrong on this one. And there's a lot of people that's out here talking about, you're really kind of going hard on black folks for the whole, for the whole trans community. And, they think that he's out here like, they think that he's like just really just trying to get followers and trying to get more people to like him and a whole bunch of other shit. And, and I think he really does give a fuck about, the black trans and the LGBT community, which I don't have a problem for. I got love for my brothers and sisters in the LGBT community also. I just think they're going about certain things in the wrong way. And that's just me. That's just me. Okay? And I'm not going to play his long one because it's like 30 fucking minutes. Right? But I'm going to play a couple of his shits. So let's see real quick what I can get planned. Okay? Because my computer's kind of fucking up. Right? Let's play this shit real quick. Hopefully you guys can hear it.
This one quick, man. Try to make this.
See, it's like
quick, you feel me? Try to make this quick. A lot of y'all, I think, don't really understand, you feel me, the place I'm coming from. I think it's just one thing I want to clarify. There's one thing I want to clarify. There's one thing I want to clarify. You feel me? Yeah, it's just something I want to clarify. So I'm gonna wait till a few more people come in.
Hold on, I'm gonna fast forward this shit a little bit. Because I don't want to.
Being the most deadliest year for trans Americans. You see why I'm wrong? Disagreeing with me. You feel me? I know I'm an acquired taste. I know I'm not for everybody. I know that shit. You feel me? I'm a nigga that born and raised in a small country town in Texas. So I'm aware and very familiar with my views and the way that I see shit being ridiculed. That is fine with me. But this idea that y'all think that I value, you feel me, being agreed with, where it's gonna get in the way of the purpose that I think that I always put before popularity, y'all got me fucked up. The same way y'all was able to hit that follow button to follow consciously is the same way you can hit the unfollow button to unfollow consciously. And I'm gonna be talking the same shit I was talking before you was following me, whether you follow me or not. My issue is that a lot of y'all believe that being pro-black and being for black people mean that you gotta disrespect all the other identities, which means that you don't understand that there are other identities that also have black people in it.
Okay, and this is where the problem starts for me. What up, fam? You Law, what's up with it? Big C, Bad C, what's up with it? Black Light Revelations, what's up with it? I hope you guys all got your wrenches. If you didn't, let me know. And I'll make sure that it's up there. I thought I did it right. I'm not sure. So just let me know. All right. So Consciously is really pro-black. I really like this brother, and I'm not going to like say that what he's saying is wrong, because what he's saying in a lot of situations is correct. But I disagree with the brother because there's things that I believe that he's taken out of context, and this is a lot of brothers. So the reason why I put Consciously up there, the reason why I put Consciously up there is because this brother is really influential. And I really, honestly, I don't think he'll ever see my shit. You know what I mean? To be completely honest, right? But if he ever does, maybe I can give him a few things to think about also. Because I'm going to put it out there. Dave Chapelle was not going after the black trans community. I'm going to say this shit one more time. Dave Chapelle was not going after the black trans community. Now, with that being said, should Dave Chapelle have been a little bit more clear about which part of the LGBT community he was going after? Yes. Oh, my bad. I'll make sure you get that shit, bro. Okay, I'll make sure you get that shit. I apologize. I thought I had given it to you already. I think I might have given it to you in I think I might have given it to you. You liar, you got it. I'm looking at you right now. You got it. You's a liar, nigga. Nigga, you's a liar. Nigga, you lying. Okay. All right. And let me put myself on the screen real quick. I don't think I just don't think I think Dave Chapelle maybe should have been a little bit more clear that he was going after the white LGBT community. And I get some of the points because I've listened to all these points, right? I've listened to a lot of these people's points, and I want people to understand that, look, at the end of the day, I think people just weren't really, they were so quick to judge based upon all of the different things that were being said about the, Dave Chappelle special, that people weren't really paying attention to the special, but instead they were looking for the things where he was going and talking shit about the trans community. Right. Right, exactly, Bad. Same here. Like, I understood that. But the thing is I heard this dude one time say, in one of his videos, another dude, he was like, whenever people talk about the LGBT community, everybody automatically thinks white people. So what they're doing is they're dismissing the black LGBT community. And I think that's absolutely absurd. I think that's a bullshit misnomer statement. I don't think it's true at all by any motherfucking Like when you have a comedian such as Dave Chapelle, and everyone wants to acknowledge how smart this man is, right? And how intelligent this man is about the work that he puts out. And you think that he don't recognize there is a difference between the black and white LGBT community? I think that's bullshit. And I think it's a bullshit talking point. So when he does it and a few other black folks do it, I call cap and I call bullshit. All right. Not that I don't like this brother consciously, not that I don't like a lot of these other brothers. And this brother is really big on TikTok, right? But I call cap. I call cap that you as a black man watched that video and you couldn't understand who he was talking about. And I call bullshit on black, trans, and LGBT community who didn't recognize who he was talking about. Can I acknowledge that maybe Dave should have been a little bit more clear? Yeah, because I went back and I watched it, and maybe he should have been maybe a little bit more fucking clear for the people on the short bus. Right? For the short bus, stupid motherfuckers, them motherfuckers that's on the short bus with fucking helmets on their head. Should he have been a little bit more clear for them? Maybe. But I don't believe that this brother nor a lot of these other brothers that's speaking out about it are part of the short bus. I don't do that shit. I think these are intelligent brothers. So I understand why people are saying you're placating to the fucking LGBT community, bro. When they go after people like Consciously and these other brothers that's going after them because they're trying to call out the, what's going on against black trans individuals. I call bullshit to that. I call bullshit to the black trans people who are doing the same thing. Bullshit. You're just looking for a reason to be offended at this point. If you don't realize who the fuck he talking to, then you didn't pay attention to the special. And what I also realize is there's a lot of trans folks, black trans folks, who didn't even watch the special. And the ones that did only watched it to fucking get offended by the trans situation. To call him transphobic. You weren't paying attention to the actual fucking special. You weren't paying attention to what he was saying. Now, again, there's a few things that I understand that you don't agree with, like the turf situation, like he wanted to call himself turf. And that's a whole different kind of argument for me, right? Whether you turf or whether you not, that's a whole different kind of conversation. But what I'm going to touch at right now is, the brothers and the sisters in the black trans family who are going after him, but they're not paying attention to what he was saying. And he was saying the same thing the black LGBT fucking family has been saying for a long time, which is there is clear white supremacy going on in the fucking LGBT community, primarily by the white LGBT community. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't get that shit, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. That just means you didn't watch the video. So I'm going to play a little bit of this. I didn't pick out times. I'm going to be honest. I didn't edit this in a sense of picking out timetables. So if I catch and miss a couple things that about what Consciously said, you can go back and go check it out. He is The Consciously on Instagram, and I believe he's The Consciously on TikTok also. I don't want to take none away from this brother because this brother is super smart. He's a teacher. He's an activist. His brother goes out of his way for black folks. So I do not take away nothing. I just think that they're confused a little bit. I think that they're, looking at shit from the wrong lens. Now, if you want to say that my take on this is a little bit skewed, more than, hey, look, I am not above critique at all. But at the same note, as I'm not above critique, neither are you. So with that being said, let's listen to this brother a little bit.
That's all. It's come down to that. When you hear this community, you think of white people. That's not pro-black. That's not revolutionary. That's not on some activist shit. That's not on some real shit. You feel what I'm saying? The conversation earlier, shout out to the trolls. Somebody obviously reported the shit and made it where Instagram literally took me off of live and made it where I couldn't go live for a few minutes. But guess what? I'm back now. And I ain't even trying to make this long and long-winded. The only point is to recognize that I'm acquired taste. I'm not for everybody. I'm not going to put no extra sugar in my shit to make sure it's digestible for you. I'm not going to add no salt in my shit to make sure it's digestible for you.
And brother, we don't want you to, because I don't do that shit either. And I refuse to do that shit. That's, sitting out here. So we understand that. Let me move a little bit forward because I want to get to his argument. But I want you to pay attention to what he did just say. He said, when you hear LGBT, you think white. Well, I don't know about y'all, but I don't think white when I think LGBT community. I don't. There's many different groups in the LGBT community. I think if you're still thinking white when you say LGBT, you somewhere in the Stone Age. You in the Stone Age. Because I don't think that. I know there's plenty of black brothers and sisters in the LGBT. I know there's plenty of Latino people in the LGBT. I know there's plenty of white people. I know there's Indian people, Native people. There's a whole wide verse of people in the LGBT community. So I think that statement that he just made was false. Now, whether he was just trying to make a point, I don't know, but I don't think it was an intellectually honest point, unless he was referring to people who are just stuck in the Stone Age. But if you are talking about the brothers that and sisters and folks that's in the Stone Age still, brother, let me tell you something. You not gonna convince them of nothing. So why even acknowledge that portion of it? That shit is ridiculous. But I digress, and check this out, brother. If you still want to try, more power to you. So let's continue real quick.
I don't care about how y'all feel about what I'm getting into. Another source, because hey, consciously making shit up apparently.
Hold on,
you know what I'm saying?
quick.
Oh, this is another source. Like white gay people do.
So now he's gonna go into
between race in an instance. He's not getting into the nooks and crannies and you.
And he's about to go into the statistics and shit. And I'm gonna let him go through a couple of them because he's right in a few of the statistics. But I am gonna do another show sometime this week or this weekend, and we're gonna go through some of these cases that they're talking about this year, and we're gonna sort this all out, okay? Because some of the things that he's saying. This brother, listen, brother, you doing the same thing you kind of complaining about Dave Chapelle doing. He's not calling out these people, and he's not fucking doing this and this and this. He's not making it clear and blah 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 this and that, this and that. Well, I'm gonna show how, again, brothers and sisters, listen. I think y'all kind of convoluting some things too. Y'all kind of convoluting some things too a little bit. Let's just be honest about it. So let's continue. I apologize for keeping on stopping. I'm going to try not to stop every few minutes, but let's listen to the brother speak. Again, much respect to Conscious Lee. This is not an attack at all. So please don't take it that way.
Uniqueness of black trans women. And now y'all mad at me talking about you pitting communities against each other like y'all don't hear black trans people saying that shit was wild. So now let's get into the statistics. You feel me? I think that now Instagram gives me the ability to have a green screen. So let's bring the green screen up, because somebody asked me and said, I made the claim and said that LGBTQ, I said specifically, you feel me, that trans people are the most, you know what I'm saying, exterminated people in America. They said, what a stat set? Can you prove it? 2021 is on pace for being the deadliest year yet for trans and gender non-conforming Americans. This what the stats say. This not my feelings. I didn't pull.
Yeah, but they're not the most attacked. That's the problem. I'm not saying that this might be one of the deadliest years for the trans community, but they're not leading the stats, brother. They're not leading the stats. It's not like they're the ones that are being attacked the most, right? That's just not what it is. We don't have that kind of super detailed stats, but we have stats. And the thing is they make up about 15%. LGBT make up about something like, I believe last time I checked, I might be wrong on this, but they make up about 15% of the community, right? And then they make up something like 2% of the Black community, and they make up something like, I can't remember the exact ones, but you know, the 4%, I think, maybe 4% of the Black community. Okay. So they're not the most, right? You know, let me see. I gotta reply to this. All right. All right. Um, so they're not the highest group. They're not the group on that's just really being attacked the most, but they are being attacked. So we can acknowledge that they've been attacked, but I cannot. You would have to be able to show me specifically where their their numbers of being attacked and murdered are higher than all other groups. I can't see that, and I would appreciate any kind of uh, uh, work, because thus far with what I've been looking, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't been looking too tough, right? Um, because I've been just got a whole lot of shit going on. Um, I don't believe that they are the highest group, the group that's getting attacked the most. If you have statistics to back that up, please do. But this is not that statistic. This is a statistic that simply says that the LGBT community, trans and gender non-conforming folks, is going to be it's been a bloody year for them. Okay, that's it.
Pull this shit out of my ass or my neck. You feel me? Oh, you don't like that source? Let's make another source up. Let's get another source up, because y'all saying I'm making this shit up. So let's bring up another source, because hey, constantly making shit up apparently. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is another source right here. 2021 is set to become the deadliest year on record for trans Americans. That's what the stats say. That's what the stats say. So y'all gonna sit here and tell me we can't just take jokes as if jokes don't have no real lived experiences, impacts on people, how they live their lives. So y'all gonna sit here and try to tell me the way that we talk about trans people on the internet has no impact on how they're the most exterminated?
Again, they're not the most exterminated. That's number one. They might be the most exterminated in the LGBT community, but they're not the most exterminated out of all the different groups that we talking about. Stop saying that shit. That is not true. Number two, we can acknowledge that this might be one of the bloodiest years that they've had. But here we go. We got to pay attention to this shit, right? Last year, I believe the number was 44 trans and non-binary conforming individuals was killed last year. 44, right? So if it goes from 44 to 51, that's an increase, and it's going to be the most bloodiest year, but again, that's negligible compared to some other groups like I was talking about yesterday. You know, groups like Black women. You see how this works? It's kind of, not to say that it's immaterial, or not to say that it's not like equally as bad, but I'm saying when we're talking about the black community as a whole, including the LGBT community and the black LGBT community being put inside the black community, it's actually kind of negligible. And again, I'm not trying to lower what they're dealing with because they are dealing with certain shit, but I'm going to get into exactly why some of these stats are a little bit iffy. The next show, I'm going to show you what I mean. Because the next show, what I'm going to show you is that most of the trans deaths that are happening, primarily, they're through suicides. Then you have domestic violence situations. That's the next biggest one. Which means it's not like black folks is going around shooting and killing motherfucking trans people. Not to say that fucking black folks aren't going around fucking, there are a few cases where black trans individuals were just killed because they was black trans. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying that's not the majority of the people. Okay? That's all. So we need the narrative is what's wrong, and this is what I'm trying to point out. If we stay on a true narrative, we can still call out the violence against black trans individuals. But we can do it on a more fucking legitimate scale. That's all I'm saying. What's up, Blazing? How you doing, brother? Let me see the comment that was made. The black man is the most hated. Yeah, black men tend to be the most hated. Okay? It's a tough call. Look, I'm not saying it's not a tough call. But what I'm saying is we still got to give out truth. You understand? We still got to give out truth. All right, let's continue real quick. Let's let this brother speak.
He got the stats right here. 2021 set to become the most deadliest year on record for trans Americans. I'm making it up though?
No, brother, you're not making it up. But it's similar to when, okay, and I shouldn't have stopped it so quick, so I'm going to let it play after this for a little while, right? But it's similar to this. And I told you guys this analogy yesterday. It's similar to this. When Asian folks say that hate crime has risen in their community 2,000%, right? So last year there were or the year before COVID, right? The Asian community had one death that was assigned to a hate crime. One. I think this year they had something like between 12 and 22. Okay? That they claim were hate crimes. That's questionable. But let's say that they are. I'm not acquiescing to it. I'm just saying, let's just say that they are. Right? Let's say that there was 21 Asian deaths due to hate crime. That's a 2,000% increase. You understand? It went from 1 to 21. You see how that works? That makes it 2,000. So it makes it sound so much worse than it actually is. Because if it goes from 1 to 21, it's actually kind of average amongst all other groups, meaning, is what I mean, right? And that's what this is. This is going from 28 to 1 year to 44 to another year to, let's say, at the end of this year, it's going to be something like 51, 52, 53. You see what I'm saying? So they're acting as if it's just terrible out here for trans. And again, look, I understand that they get fucked with a lot. I understand there's a lot of hate. But to sit around here and say that trans folks is getting killed left and right just because they're trans, but you don't have the statistics to back that up outside of fucking you saying it's a hate crime against trans people, is not intellectually honest, and it's not really backed by fucking truth. Let's keep on going.
Let's be real now. Let's be real now. Let's ask intersectionality in it. How much do y'all think that Black trans women are uniquely making this a statistic in terms of 2021 being the deadliest year on record for trans Americans? Let's talk about it. Y'all say y'all care about Black people. I call bullshit. I don't think I care about Black folks. I say y'all do. You feel me? Y'all only really care about Black folks that fuck the same way you fuck and or that identify in gender the same way you identify in gender. So we identifying that 2021 is set to become the most deadliest year for trans Americans. And I'm acknowledging uniquely how Black women are making up this statistic of being the most exterminated. Y'all get mad at me. Y'all get mad at me for acknowledging that Black people are being exterminated at high levels uniquely for being trans?
But they're okay, but see, and again, I have to, and I got to put this out here again because I don't have the stats on me. So right now, all I can say right now is based on my previous study from years before, and we're talking 2-3 years ago. That's just not true consciously. Now, could that have changed in the last few years? Possibly. So we'll find out on the show when we go deeper inside these trans killings, okay? We'll go deeper inside of that shit, okay? But what we won't do is we won't say that trans people are getting killed at higher rates than Black women. That's what we won't do. And the problem is this, brother. You can't sit here and keep on like just saying this shit without backing that up. And not only, and when we talk about backing it up, we're not talking about just going to the fucking statistics because those statistics are skewed. And we know they're skewed because there's been trans men and trans women who have been killed and fucking they label them as fucking whatever gender they were assigned when they were born. So we know that number could be higher and we know that number could be lower. Because what sometimes what will happen is a trans person will be killed, right? And they will not acknowledge that they're trans individuals. So first off, we got to make sure that the trans death was a true trans death. Instead of just saying it was a male or a female, it was a trans death. That's number one. Number two, what we have to do is we have to look at each individual case. And we have to fucking recognize why these people are being killed. And here's the problem. I know for a fact there's at least 4 cases that I know of for a fact that they were not killed because they were trans, but because they went it off and outed fucking the people that they were with. And that would be classified not as a uniquely trans death because of transphobic behavior, but because of revenge due to domestic violence. You see what I'm saying? That would not be transphobic killing. That would have to be labeled a domestic violence killing. And that person didn't kill them because they were transphobic, because they were in a relationship with them. It would be a revenge killing, not a transphobic killing. They didn't hate the person. They didn't have disdain. They were in a relationship. And it might have been secret and he might have been on the low, but you can't say that's transphobic. It'd probably be more along the lines, in my opinion, of a revenge killing. But let's keep on going.
But you care about Black people though? I call bullshit. You don't care about Black people, man. You act like white folks. You use the same white supremacist logic to say that I only.
Sorry about that shit. Izzy, don't let it bother you. It's not what are you talking about? It ain't bothering me. If you ain't figured out this is how the fuck I talk, motherfucker, then you don't have no reason to be in here, bro. This doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me like that. It bothers me because the narrative is wrong. But this is how I talk about everything. Stop it, bro.
You care about black people that fit this construct. If you don't fit this construct, you don't matter.
And again, I find that to be actually dismissive of black folks. I think that black folks do care about the black LGBT community. But I also think that there's kind of a rift between the black LGBT and black folks. And I think the number one reason is because black folks tend to believe that black LGBT people put their gender before their race. And in a world that black folks wasn't targeted, in a world that black folks weren't going through the discrimination and shit that they go through on a day-to-day basis, right? When LGBT people identify first as their gender and then as their race, and then say that fucking they're being attacked due to their gender, it kind of lowers fucking everything else, because now you're confusing other groups, primarily the white groups, right? And they're taking advantage of these deaths, because what you're doing is you're putting LGBT before your race, when this is specifically a black LGBT problem or a minority LGBT problem, not really a white, because there's not too many white LGBT or primarily white trans people who are being killed. Now, we have to start asking the question, well, why is it that black LGBT people are being killed? And that's a different discussion. And maybe that might be because fucking certain situations. I don't know, but we'll dive deeper into it on the next one when we talk about the trans experience and different things like that and why these people were being killed, right? We'll talk about that. We'll get into that. All right. So this is going to be like a two-part thing. All right. So you're going to have to show up for the next one to really catch up on this. All right. So let's keep on going. I do think that black folks care about the black LGBT community. Do I think that there are some black folks that don't? Yeah, of course. I would never say that there's some black folks that are like, fuck the LGBT. We can acknowledge that, but let's not act as if the black LGBT community is going through so much different shit than black folks, but they're going through it because of their gender and not their race. They're going through it because of their fucking race, and then it's doubled down upon because of their gender. Let's just be honest. Let's go.
Nigga said, I respect Stonewall gays. Marsha P. Johnson is the black woman that is credited for starting the Pride movement. When Dave Chapelle brought up Stonewall riot, he's talking about a riot that was literally started from a black trans woman fighting back to police brutality. Now, a lot of y'all don't know this, right? Marsha P. Johnson, the black trans woman that started the Pride movement, she died being excluded from the Pride movement.
Which should tell you exactly what Dave Chapelle was talking about. He knew that. If you don't think he knew that, I'm sorry, brother, you lost in the sauce. My brother, you always sit here and say education for elevation or something like that, something along them lines. Well, my brother, I need you to educate yourself to think that there isn't a racism problem in the LGBTQ. And we're going to go through that today. There is a serious problem with the LGBTQ, the white portion of it. and their white supremacist issues and racist issues are detrimental to the black LGBT folks. And that is what Dave Chapelle was pointing out. Let's keep on going.
Like literally the first pride movements, the parades that was started by this black trans woman decided she was gonna fight back. They excluded her because they said that she was too much. Now imagine that. We talking about the LGBT community, and we pitting them against the black people, not recognizing that black people are fucked over in the LGBT community. It don't make them less LGBTQ though. And this my issue right.
It don't make them less LGBT, but what it does should show the LGBT, especially the black LGBT community, it should show them that they're not accepted in that group. So why are they being used as tokens? Stop being used as tokens, my black LGBT people, because that's what's going on.
Right here, let's bring up another step though. So at this point, we keep in record. I brought up 2 different articles, 2 different sources, being able to quantify my claim of 2021 set to become the most deadliest year record for trans Americans. So y'all know I'm not making this up now, right?
We know that.
Let's bring up another source, because I'm gonna say I'm pigeonholing, and y'all gonna say I cherry picked it, or you feel me? Bring up another source. Bring up another source. Shit, another source. 2021 set to become the most deadliest year on record for trans Americans. And this right here has a nice photographic right here for you to see, and how they're measuring death in terms of the years. And what we see is that 2021 is on pace for being the most deadliest year for trans Americans.
Again, he keeps on making this point, and I don't say that his point is void, and it's a true point. So let's move on.
Queer, black, lesbian, black, gay people that was for the movement, but specifically they were talking about trans people, right? I listened to a conversation between T.S. Madison and Hope yesterday, and the first thing I want to point out is that those 2 women did not agree. So what I'm saying is that there is not a monolith even in the black trans community. It's some black trans women that had no issue with Dave Chapelle said. It's some black trans women that had an issue with Dave Chapelle said. What I'm saying is not a one size fit all. If we have a white,
that's right, but that's the reason why your tax on the Dave Chapelle special is kind of uncalled for. Not totally unjustified, but a very in a large way unjustified, because again, you have 2 different sides of the group who don't even agree with each other, and this is in the black LGBT community. There's a lot of black LGBT people who love that video, that love that special. There's some that don't like it. Well, here's the thing. I think, and if I probably went out and really did some research, I think the black LGBT community, who views themselves as black first, then queer LGBT, right? Are the ones that didn't have a problem with the special. The ones who label themselves gender first, then race, are the ones that have a problem with it. And we should be digging deeper into why is that, right? But let's keep on going.
Person that come and say, well, my black friend Candace Owens let me call her nigga. She ain't. We gonna say she don't speak for all black people. Well, in this instance, you feel what I'm saying? It's the same. It's the same thing. But we can acknowledge, regardless of everybody not speaking, there are people that were offended and that have literally mental health impacts, depression, anxiety, negotiating their own value, you feel me, and worth, but based off of the shit they hearing. It's really that simple. It ain't even that deep though. You feel me? It ain't even gotta be. I feel like y'all making it deep. You know what I'm saying? You making it deep in a way for you to be able to make these talking points about the alphabet gang mafia. And it's obvious when you say alphabet gang mafia, you just talking about white people.
And if we talking about white people, why you sitting here fucking, if you black first, then why you worried about how we talking about fucking the white folks, the white LGBT? Because we calling them out too. If it's obvious that when we say that alphabet mafia, we talking about the white LGBT community, brother, why wasn't it that obvious when Dave Chapelle said what he said during the special? How is it not that obvious then? I'm a little confused. You're gonna have to make it make sense for me.
Because when Dave Chapelle said that the black community is jealous of the LGBT community, he obviously wasn't talking about black trans women.
Clearly, see, and he's just making my points for me.
You know he wasn't talking about them. So what does this mean in terms of a conversation about standing for all of humanity? A conversation for standing for equality. In conclusion, to me, it sounds like y'all saying that when you go watch a comedy special, you're not supposed to be critical at all. You're not supposed to be ready to criticize at all. You're supposed to just be able to laugh. And if you're not laughing, then that's it.
And I don't believe that. I think you can be critical of comedy. Absolutely, you can. I think you can. In some cases, you should. Right. And I believe that it's okay to critique Dave Chapelle. I think it's okay to critique any comedian, but that shouldn't take away his ability to do the job that he does and do the art that he does. And it's okay for him to critique the LGBT community. See, and this is my biggest issue. Why can't you be critical of the LGBT community? That was Dave Chappelle's critique of them. They are clearly allowed to critique him. So why can't he critique them? Okay? I just think if we're going to do it one way, we should be able to do it another way. And the only way we're going to have any kind of reconciliation between the black LGBT and black folks and to try to turn the tide of homophobia, transphobia, and all these other, phobias apparently, is by having the conversation. And I think brothers like me, and I'm just going to speak for myself. If you agree, you agree. If you disagree, you disagree. That's cool. But I think brothers like me don't have a problem with the black LGBTQ community. We have a problem with them putting their gender before their race and trying to dismiss that part of the issue that they're having is not just because they're trans, but because they are black trans, black gay, black lesbians, black first, then their gender. Again, this is what we talking about, right? Black, right? Black first. Not gender first, black first. Let's just be real about that shit.
A lot of y'all are too sensitive to recognize sometimes that jokes ain't funny to everybody.
They're not meant to be, brother. Just like you said at the very beginning of your fucking stream, brother, you said, I'm an acquired taste. Brother, you said some people don't like me. And if you don't like me, if you follow me, you can just as easily unfollow me. Just like the black LGBT community who don't appreciate what Dave Chappelle say. All they got to do is not watch Dave Chappelle. Again, brother, we cannot have two separate ways of dealing with shit. It's equal both sides. We can't do that shit because that's the type of shit that causes division amongst the black LGBT community and the black folks. And we need to be black first, and we need to recognize all spectrums of blackness. You understand what I mean? We have to recognize that fucking, guess what? You're not the acquired taste for some people, just like I'm definitely not the acquired taste of some people, just like motherfucking Dave Chapelle is not the acquired taste of some people. But here's the thing. You want Dave Chapelle to be more cognizant of black LGBT, and you want him to sugarcoat his feelings and his ideals. Meanwhile, you tell everyone, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit for no one. We talking two different levels now. I'm not above critique. You not above critique. Dave Chappelle not above critique. But guess what? We are particular tastes of a whole group. There's going to be some people that's going to say, nah, fuck this nigga when they look at my shit. There's going to be some people that looks at your shit and they say, nigga, fuck that nigga. This nigga, you know what I mean? There's going to be people who don't agree with Dave Chappelle. Again, brother, you got to stay consistent on this ideology. That's all I'm saying. Let's keep on going real quick when we're about to go on.
But y'all project the sensitivity by saying that you're too sensitive to take a joke, when in actuality, you're too sensitive to hear criticism of a joke.
Absolutely not. Again, not me, brother, not me. Maybe some of the brothers that you was talking to in your shit, but not me. Because I listened to your whole shit. I listened to the whole spew. And look, at the end of the day, you see what I'm saying? I agree with a majority of what you were saying. I think everybody, there is not a single person that is above critique. If there's anybody in this room who believes that they are above critique, please put a one in the room and then exit softly on your way out. Please don't slam the door. We're in the middle of a show. That's it.
Nobody said that. Hey, you say you didn't say that. Don't speak for everybody else, though,
Right.
because you don't know what people are saying in my comment section. As a matter of fact, on the last two posts I made, there's a lot of comments in there. I don't think you've read every comment to say ain't nobody said that, because a lot of people are saying this. Just say that you're not saying this. You feel me? If you feel like it wasn't offensive to you.
I agree with that statement. I'm not going to argue that.
That's it. That's
so and again, I'm not trying to pick on Consciously, because I think this brother is a fucking impressive brother. This brother is smart. This brother is pro-black. This brother is out for his brothers and sisters. I'm not fucking going after this brother. I just believe that, again, just like he said, nobody is above critique. That means him also. And this is my small critique to this brother and other brothers that's out here talking this same shit. That's it. So now that we got past that narrative, because I want to make sure that we heard the consensus on that ideal, right? We're gonna kind of talk about, you know, some of this shit, okay? And let's bring up this window right quick. And I showed you this shit. Okay, again, because I agree with some of the stats that he has. I don't agree the way he was presenting those stats, but I do agree with his stats. Fatal violence against the transgender and non-conforming community in 2021 is skyrocketing. Well, according in general understanding of that. Okay, but again, look, at least 4 black women and girls were murdered per day in the U.S. last year. That's 2020, ladies and gentlemen. Because this article came out in 2021. Just want to make sure you understand that. 4 a day. Now, again, if we gonna fucking really fucking let's talk about this shit, let's talk about this. This is an issue. Not to say that fucking trans folks getting killed is not an issue, and I shouldn't, maybe I fucking misspoke on that. But let me fucking point out that this is a serious issue. Now, again, first off, let me say something. I don't see too many black, I don't see, the LGBT community as a whole, speaking out for black women. Now, do I see the black LGBT community speaking out for black women? I do tend to see more of that, right? But because the white LGBT community kind of overruns, that whole community in a sense, right? Because most of the organizations for the LGBT community are white organizations. They're not black. Most of them are white. We tend not to see what they are doing. And so, because the black LGBT community doesn't have that much as far as a media presence, which is done on purpose, you don't get to see their activism for black women. But the LGBT community as a whole is not looking out for black women at all. Where are you guys at as a whole when it comes to black women? You see? And they're nowhere to be found. And you know why they're nowhere to be found? It's because of the anti-blackness of not only the black LGBT community, but the anti-blackness, period, of the white LGBT community. That's why. These are stories. Conversation on white supremacy and racism in the queer community. Because there is a major problem with racist LGBT folks, white LBG folks, since we have to continuously say this so you get it. For all the people on the short bus with the fucking helmets on, we are delineating the white and black LGBT community. Because there is a problem with racism in the white LGBT community. Let's not kid ourselves. That's 2 articles right there. Here's yet another article. And this is an excuse piece right here. It says, yes, there's racism in the LGBT community, but there is more outside of it, as if that somehow makes it better. And again, what you're seeing right here is the same thing white folks do all the time. They're now doing it. White LGBT folks are doing it now to black fucking LGBT folks. Pulling the same damn card. White folks say it all the time to black folks. Well, there was a lot of racism back in the 60s, but there's less racism today. No. There's just as much racism today as there was before. It's just evolved and it presents itself in different ways outside of the norms. And here's the white LGBT trying to play that same bullshit. Oh, well, yeah, there's racism in the LGBT community, but it's not as bad as outside the LGBT community. They do the same thing to the black LGBT. White LGBT does the same thing to the black LGBT community as white folks do to black folks on a daily motherfucking basis. And if this ain't proof of it, I don't know what the fuck is. Wait, we talking facts now, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we always talking about, right? Facts, 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 right? Facts over feelings, right? See, this is the bullshit game. The white LGBT community is no different than white folks on the mainstream when we're talking about racism and white supremacy playing the same goddamn fucking game. But yet y'all so busy trying to attack a black man that's calling this shit out rather than fucking standing with him to call it out yourselves. That is a problem. That is not B1 first. That's not black first. That's not B1. That's not pro-black. Yeah, I was going to pull that up too. I saw that article. I was going to pull that shit up too. See, so if we're going to be B1 black first, how about let's be consistent, ladies and gentlemen? How about that? How about being consistent? Having a little bit of, I don't know, integrity? That's what we're talking about right now. Integrity, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's a hard word to comprehend, and I know a lot of people don't understand what integrity is, but let's have a little bit tonight, shall we? And this is something that the black LGBT, and I'm going to give all credit to the black LGBT community because guess what? Even though it's not promoted a lot, the black LGBT community has been saying this and calling this shit the fuck out. But the problem is that's what Dave Chapelle did just last night. Or in his special, I should say. Not last night, but that's what he did in his special. Okay? That's what the fuck he did in his special. I get that maybe it wasn't presented correctly. I get that shit. I want y'all to pay attention to this shit because I need y'all to fucking make sure you on this, that you understand what the fuck we talking about. Because me, I'm all for the LGBT, the black LGBT community. I fight with them just as much as I fight with any other black folks because guess what? At the end of the day, I'm pro-black. Now, I don't live my life that way. It's not my choice of the way to live. But again, we all fucking live our own particular lives. So I wanted to point that out. And I want y'all to understand. This is a great article too. I want y'all to go and find it if you can. It's on Slate. It says a new survey claiming that LGBT people are less racist misses the reality of racism in the queer community. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all not seeing the problem. You missing over the problem. You missing the point of what Dave Chapelle was talking about. You were so quick to just look for something to get triggered about, and then everybody started. This is kind of like, remember, what was the name of that movie, Rob, that everybody was losing their shit off of just a couple years ago because it was a French movie, and they were talking about how the little girls were being sexually exploited and all this other shit, and they were calling it nasty. It was on Netflix. Cuties. And who was the nigga that came out and was like, yeah, y'all didn't watch the movie? And how many motherfuckers during that shit told me, I ain't gonna watch the movie. I don't need to fucking watch the movie. I heard enough about the movie. Cuties. That's the name of the movie, Cuties. It's the same situation. Y'all overdoing something, not watching it, not paying attention to it. And then when you are watching it, you're looking for a way to be offended. You're looking for the reason to be offended instead of watching the movie. Instead of listening to what Dave Chapelle said. See, these two things are very similar. Very similar. Because I watched the movie, I watched the special, and guess what? Y'all was wrong. Y'all saw some little kids dancing in some tight outfits, and then I had to show y'all how y'all do this on a regular day, every single motherfucking day, and then you get mad when the mirror is put to your face. And that's what's happening again. Dave Chapelle put a mirror to your face and y'all didn't like it. And now what you have is you got a whole bunch of coon folks, coon LGBT members who either A, didn't motherfucking watch the special, or B, was looking for a reason to trip on Dave Chapelle in order to fucking bitch and moan. That's what happened. Go back and watch it. I've watched that special 5 times looking for where they could get it. And there's a few areas where I was like, okay, I get it. Maybe he should have been, like I've been saying, maybe he should have been a little bit more motherfucking exact when he was talking about the LGBT community, because he was clearly talking about the white LGBT community, but he wasn't dismissing the black LGBT community. And I don't understand why the black LGBT community, particularly black trans women, are associating themselves with the white trans folks that the shit is not happening to. Why are you viewing yourself as the same as a white trans individual? Because guess what? I know you might not think, because you think gender comes first, but the fact of the matter is, no, you are not the same as them. And maybe you should be, I don't know, paying attention to your other counterparts, your other black LGBT people who are actually calling this shit out. I don't know. That might be a novel idea right there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just throwing this out there to give you something to think about. I just want to give you something to fucking think about. It's really what I want to do. All right, man. We're gonna get on to this next issue. All right. This is gonna be the last thing that we talk about tonight, about children, racism in children. But I wanna. I told y'all, I think yesterday morning when we went live on Black Light Revelations. If you don't know, go definitely check out Black Light Revelations. Subscribe to Black Light Revelations. But we on his show we were talking about. I had brought up. I said this woman says helping kids of color to feel like they belong has a negative effects on white Christian or conservative kids. Oh, the gay Superman pick. Yeah, that wasn't it. I got that. That's down a little bit. I want y'all to watch. I want y'all to listen to this real quick. I gotta take it down real quick, and then I gotta put up the tab. I want y'all to listen to this report. I want y'all to listen to this report real quick. Let's listen to this real quick.
School board is heating up over some comments made by a campaign manager. Channel 3's chief political reporter Susan Raff has both sides. She's joining us live right now in the newsroom tonight. Susan?
Mark, the comments certainly have caused a lot of outrage, and some are calling them racist and feel that Mary Beeman should resign. But Beeman defends her comments and has no plans to do that. Guilford looks like many towns these days. Campaign signs are popping up everywhere. However, this is anything but a typical school board race.
Did you get a little bit ugly?
It is a false, outrageous, negative, destructive comment, and it needs to be called out.
The comment was posted by Mary Beeman, who is the campaign manager for Republican candidates running for school board. They were made at a virtual education forum hosted by UConn on how to teach race in schools, more specifically, critical race theory. Beeman said helping kids of color to feel they belong has a negative effect on white, Christian, or conservative kids. We spoke to Beeman, who says the statement I made was poorly worded and shown out of context. Guilford students who may have staunch Judeo-Christian values or simply are conservative thinkers have been bullied into submission by their teachers and fellow students with left-leaning ideologies. Bill Bloss spent 20 years on the school board and as a chairman. He says Republicans claim CRT is being taught in Guilford, but they have shown no proof. He's also advising independent candidates and feels Beeman should resign.
I think this is politics. I think this is an electoral strategy by Steve Bannon and people who want the former President Trump returned to the White House to stir people up.
Truth in Education is a national group that supports parents' rights in making decisions about their child's education. David Holman is a member. He doesn't have children and is fighting to stop critical race theory.
We are a great country. Our founding documents say that all men are created equal.
Now, we also reached out to the Republican Town Committee to get their take on these comments. Chairman Paul Cello, however, told us he had no comment. Live in the newsroom, Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, let's touch on this a little bit. Let's get into it. All right, so I want y'all to pay attention to some things because we're gonna go over some things. Now, I've talked about critical race theory quite a bit, a lot actually. I've done a few streams about critical race theory. Me and Rob have done a few streams about critical race theory. And what's up, Shatira? How you doing? And first and foremost, let's put it out there that critical race theory is not being taught at schools in elementary school, K through high school, period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That's what it is. Okay, that false narrative is absolutely ridiculous. It's hard to get into a critical race theory class if you're an undergraduate, let alone high school, let alone fucking grade school. That's number one. I'm gonna put it out there right then and just like that. You clearly don't understand what critical race theory is. If you have a problem with critical race theory, that's a whole different motherfucking sauce also that I've already covered. So white folks, if you have a problem with critical race theory, you need to check your shit. Okay? Now, that's number one. But let's go back. Let me see real quick because I want y'all to see the comment this. Okay.
School
I want you to see the
board
comment.
is heating up over some comments made by a campaign.
I want y'all to see the comment real quick. This is the comment right here. Here, and I'll make it bigger so you can have a better, so you can see it a little bit. I know it's small, and I apologize for it being small, but I'm just going to make sure I'm gonna read it so you hear it. It says, helping kids of color feel as if they are helping kids of color feel they belong as an has a negative effect on white Christian or conservative kids. Now, why am I making that such a big deal? Well, actually, I'm going to fucking let this brother right here, yeah, this one right here, I'm gonna let him explain it. Actually, let me see if it goes there. If it doesn't go there. All right. So what I'm gonna do is bang. Let me stop that right there. Okay. Let's put this up there. Bang. Let's go right there. Let's put the volume up. Let me stop this real quick. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play this video because this brother sums it up. I was actually gonna make this, but I found this on TikTok. And no, I'm not very big on TikTok, but this brother actually summed up what I want to say a little bit more clearly than me. All right, so let's get with this. All right, let's talk about it real quick. All right, let's talk about this shit. Let's play this, and y'all can listen to this. And I'm gonna play it a couple times because we're gonna break this shit down because this shit is real. Watch this.
Yo, this admission right here, this revelation is very important.
Y'all gave the wrong Negro this information. I'm finna go off. And before anybody come in my comments with that ridiculous nonsense, let me show you something. Yeah. You see that there? Master of Science in Community Psychology. I'm going to say this one time and one time only. White supremacy is a collective delusion that is supported by white academia and is reinforced by white perceptions of cosmology. Psychologically, white people suffer from a God complex that has been made into white superiority. And when you remove somebody from a delusion of grandeur, or when you remove somebody from their self-perception, they experience cognitive dissonance and the brain perceives that as pain. This is the reason why white tears exist, because white people cannot fathom that they are not universally adored or ordained.
Yo,
So I'm going to read what he wrote in the comments because we have to look at this in a very clear perspective.
Mission right here, this revelation is very important.
Watch this. Watch what he writes.
Y'all gave the wrong Negro this information. I'm finna go off. And before anybody.
And I want to point out that why does this black man, like real shit, why does this black man have to show his degree in the beginning of this shit? Well, the reason why is because black folks, even when the fuck we have the knowledge, the degrees, and everything, white folks always act like we don't know what the fuck we talking about. And that's why he did this shit. Well, he actually did to flex too. But still, you know what I mean? This is what it is.
Anybody come in my comments with that ridiculous nonsense, let me show you something. Yeah. You see that there? Master of Science in Community Psychology. I'm going to say this one time and one time only. White supremacy is a
It says white supremacy simply means that whiteness is the center and above everything.
Collective delusion that is supported by white academia and is reinforced by white perceptions of cosmology.
All right. Then he explains cosmology. He said the study of how the world and or universe came to be, white people have centered and white people have centered and omnipotentized themselves by consistently reinforcing the idea through arts, literature, and theology, and that's a key point, that they are the ultimate purity and authority.
Psychologically, white people suffer from a God complex that has been made into white superiority. And when you remove somebody from,
and then he goes on the theology part of it, he says the KKK parading themselves as a Christian organization is an example of this. They feel that they have a God-given right to ordain who is and who is not able to engage in the spoils of the land. Again, we know they have this God complex because we've talked about it. Think about the westward expansion, where they believed that they were given the God-given right to go out west and kill the native indigenous people and motherfucking acquire the land for free and then ordain themselves as gods.
From a delusion of grandeur, or when you remove somebody from their self-perception, they experience cognitive dissonance and the brain perceives that as pain.
It also is when you take away the privileges of white folks, they feel like it's an attack on them, even though they're not actually, manifest destiny. Thank you. Even though they're not losing any rights, they're just losing more of their privileges. They look at it as a way to think that they are being attacked in some way. Okay, pay attention to this shit, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the reason why white tears exist, because white.
It says this is also the reason why there are so many references to God in political discourse. White people place God into their ventures of slaughter and extortion because they feel that they have the right to do so.
People cannot fathom that they are not universally adored or ordained.
Again, this article and this person, literally, white children suffer when kids of color are taught that they belong. This is the reason why, because they've already done the studies, and I've talked about this before also many times. The fact of the matter is, when young black kids have a sense of who they are, have a pride of who they are as black kids, they understand their history, they understand their culture, and they understand where they come from and all these things, they do better academically and in life. Listen to what the fuck these people are saying they are telling on themselves. I've already told y'all this shit. A few years back, I did a fucking stream and it was called "Give White Folks Enough Rope and They Will Hang Themselves." They will always tell on themselves. They will just do it in very sneaky ways. So what this white woman is saying is that if black kids are taught that they belong, then they will start feeling as if they are equal and they have equity in this world. Therefore, they will do better, and then the white kids will then suffer. Oh shit, that's the way they keep the power complex up. Oh shit. That is also why there is always a fucking war against and active attacks against the black family. Absolutely fucking right. I don't think y'all fucking getting the game that's being showed right now. This is game, ladies and gentlemen. This is real shit. See, the thing is, and we're going to get into it on the next thing, and this is why fucking everything that I try to do, I try to link. What up, Tony D? You've missed a hell of a show so far, brother. You're gonna have to watch the replay, brother. Cause I'm pulling out no stops tonight. I'm not playing no games tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If you think fucking what the fuck I've done in the past is put out some shit, tonight I'm giving y'all work tonight. I'm giving y'all some shit to think about. Because this is why the fuck they go off and they attack even our young kids. And I can say that they attack our young kids easily, and I can back that statement up also. Okay? Because I'm going to show y'all what the fuck I mean by this. And it leads us to the main point of what the fuck I was talking about before. Let's put this shit on the screen real quick. Now, this is a motherfucking article. It's a long article, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, long article. I downloaded this article. This article has 21 fucking pages without that's just without the pictures. 21 fucking pages, ladies and gentlemen. 52 pages. I apologize, with all the references and everything. Okay? 52 pages total. And we're going to spend a lot of time on this tonight. Okay? Because it all relates. All of this shit relates. Okay? All of this shit relates. Because this is the mind fuck that they do. This is the mind fuck that they put on you. Okay? See, when children have a stable home, when children have a sense of who they are, have a sense of their culture, their heritage, their history, they do better in school. If they do better in school, they do better in the economic system in which we live in. If they do better in the economic system in which they live in, then guess what? They no longer have a group that they can go out of their way to keep on the bottom rungs of society. Again, this has been active for a long time. This is the reason why things like the doll test is so fucking important. Because what it does is it tells white folks how black folks see themselves, right? And when you do the doll test, you can see if that shit is working from the moment they are children. And you have to wonder, how is it that children, right, between the ages of 5 and I believe 9 years of age, doing the doll test, how do they get the idea that black is bad and white is good? Oh wait, y'all not paying attention to all this shit, huh? Oh, this is that psychology for your ass. All of this shit. And then why white folks go out of their way to try to make it look as if young black men, okay, that young black men, they view them as threats. This is why you have a lot of young black men who are killed by the police. See, this article, it says black children were jailed for a crime that doesn't exist. Almost nothing happened to the adults in charge. Okay. 3 police officers were crowded in the assistant principal's office at Hobgood Elementary School. And Tammy Garnett, the school's principal, had no idea what to do. The officers wearing tactical vests was telling her, get go get the kids. A second officer was telling her, don't go get the kids. The third officer wasn't saying anything. Garnett knew that the police had been sent to arrest some children, although exactly which children it would turn out was unclear to everyone. Even these officers, the names police have given in the principal included 4 girls now sitting in classrooms throughout the school. All 4 girls were black. There was a 6th grader, 2 4th graders, and a 3rd grader. The youngest was 8 years old. A few weeks before, a video had appeared on YouTube and it showed 2 small boys, 5 and 6 years old, throwing feeble punches at a larger boy as he walked away, while other kids tagged along, some yelling. The scuffle took place off school grounds after the game of pickup basketball. One kid insulted another kid's mother is what started it all. The police were at Hobgood because of that video, but they don't come for the boys who threw the punches. They were here for the children who looked on. The police in Murfreesboro, a fast-growing city about 30 miles southeast of Nashville, had secured juvenile petitions for 10 children in all who were accused of accused of failing to stop the fight. Officers were now rounding up kids, even though the department couldn't identify a single one in the video, which was posted with a filter which made faces fuzzy. That was what was clear were the voices, including of one girl trying to break up the fight, saying, "Stop, Tay Tay, stop, Tay Tay, stop, Tay Tay." She was a 4th grader at Hobgood. Her initials were EJ. And it goes on to tell about this whole situation. Okay. And it talks a little bit more about it. Okay. But what it does is it goes even deeper and it breaks down. Okay. It breaks down. This is like a screenshot of the Snapchat. Okay. Okay, now what it does is this. It goes on to talk about Rutherford County. Okay. Now, in Rutherford County, a juvenile court judge has been directing police on what she called our process for arresting children, and she appointed the jailer who employed a filter system to determine which children to hold. The judge was proud of what she had built, despite some alarming numbers buried in states' reports. Among cases referred to juvenile court, the statewide average for how often children were locked up was 5%. But in Rutherford County, it was 48%. Okay. Tennessee used to publish statistical reports on juvenile court statewide for the last for the last year available, 2014. We compiled reports out of 98 courts. Rutherford County looked up kids in 48% of its cases, eclipsing every other jurisdiction. Okay. The graphic below that you see right here. Okay, the graphic below shows the top 50 courts. The state stopped publishing this data even as it figured prominently in the lawsuit against Rutherford County. Okay, what did Tay Tay do? Apparently, Tay Tay was whooping on some little boy that was talking shit about his mama. Okay, apparently, all right. This is the judge. Okay, this is the judge that okayed that they round up all these children. This is the white woman. Okay. These kids were charged with crimes that didn't even commit. They were asked if they can call their parents, and they were not allowed to. They ended up later calling the kids' parents and a whole bunch of other shit. But this is how our kids are being treated in these schools. Okay? All right? Now, there's another part I want to point out. All right? This is a picture of their playground, and this is their juvenile. This is their juvenile facility. I want to get down to the chapter 2. Okay, this is what I want to get down to, because there's actually a few chapters. I just want to kind of touch on a little bit of all of it. All right. 11 children in all were arrested over the video, including an 8-year-old taken in by mistake. Media picked up the story. Parents and community leaders condemned the actions of the police. Unimaginable, unfathomable, a Nashville pastor said. Let me see. Kept on making a unconscionable, inexcusable, insane. That's what they were saying about this shit. Okay. Rutherford County establishes the positions of the elected juvenile court judge in 2000, and ever since, Donna Scott Davenport has been the job's only holder, and she sometimes calls herself the mother of the county. This is Davenport right here. All right, I just want to point that out. And again, she starts talking about all this shit, right? Now, first off, let's point out that the juvenile court that they're talking about is actually a privately owned juvenile facility. The facility, I should say, is privately owned, which means they have an agreement with the county, which means that they go out of their way to keep that motherfucking juvenile hall motherfucking filled. And what they are filled with is majority little black kids. Okay. So let me see. Let me put this up. One of the things that she said is this: I locked up one 7-year-old in 13 years. And that was a heartbreak, she said in 2012. But 8 and 9-year-olds and older are very common now. So they're going out of their way to arrest these little kids. They enforce a strict code in their courtrooms, requiring people to show difference. There will be no untucked shirt, no sundresses, spaghetti straps, spandex, body piercings, no uncovered tattoo. Pants shall be pulled up. So she has all of these rules in place to make sure the parents stay the fuck out of their motherfucking court hearings. So if they do that shit, what they do is they get to say, well, you can't come in, but your kid still has to show up for court. These are all tactics of the legal system to go out of their way to basically fucking make sure that these kids don't have private representation. Okay? I'm talking about people mama all willy-nilly. If they had CRT, they know that. Message. You know what? Oh shit. Let me put that up there real quick. All right. I just want to put that up there real quick. All right. Let me see. Let me see. There's a part that I really want to get to. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I should have fucking, like I said, I wasn't really prepared. I read the article, and so I just have to find it again. This is about the charges that they charge them, which aren't even really crimes, but they still charge them nonetheless. The charge was criminal responsibility for conduct of another. It says in part, a person is criminally responsible for an offense committed by another if the person causes, aids, and an innocent or irresponsible person to engage in the offense. It directs or directs another commit offense, or fails to make a reasonable effort to prevent the commission of the offense. Okay, that's the charge. Okay, and so they're using this charge very, 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 very loosely. Okay, let me see. There we go. I think this might be it. When police took the 12-year-old twins to Rutherford County Juvenile Detention Center on Saturday, April 16th, 2016, the odds that either it would be jailed were long, at least under Tennessee law. Recognizing that the harm that that can come from incarcerating kids, Tennessee lawmakers have placed narrow limits on when a child accused of being a delinquent can be held in a secure lockdown prior to receiving court hearings. The child must fit one of 6 categories precisely defined. They include all being a jail escapee, being wanted elsewhere for a felony offense, or being accused on with substantial evidence of a crime resulting in serious injury or death. Okay. Based off of that fake ass law alone, so many, right? Exactly, absolutely, bruh, you're absolutely right. Put that shit up there too. All right. Rutherford County, however, had its own system for deciding whether to keep children under lock and key. Its written procedure, imprecise and broad, boiled down to whether a child was considered by jailers to be a true threat. Jailers allowed the 12-year-old girl to go home, but they locked up her twin brother. Of the 10 children charged in this case, all black, 4 were girls and 6 were boys. Every girl was released. Of the boys, 4 were jailed, according to the county records. Those 4 boys became a small part of a big group. In the fiscal year encompassed in 2016, Rutherford County jailed 986 children for a total of 7,932 days. This is one of the boys that was actually locked up right here. JB number 2, the 12-year-old boy, spent 2 nights in the detention center. Our court records show while there, he was placed in solitary confinement and punished for standing at his cell window. A lawsuit would later allege. We recently interviewed JB2, whose name was Jacarius Brinkley. He's now 18. Is okay with us using his name. This is the guy that you see up here. This is him. And the person, he said, he said, a guard, Jacarius said, kept walking by his cell saying, like, you can't be by the door. You got to sit down. Basically forcing the little boy that he couldn't sit up. He couldn't stand up. He had to sit down while he was in the cell. And then that's why they put him in solitary confinement. The person who runs the detention center is Lynn Duke. Davenport initially picked someone else, but her first appointee was arrested on a drug charge only hours after receiving the congratulations of county commissioners. Davenport quickly named Duke as a replacement. Duke, a former youth services officer, became director on January 1st, 2001, and has remained in the role ever since. Duke reports to Davenport, but does not consult her daily. In 2005, Duke emailed the judge to say that she was feeling guilty for not checking in more. If you need me to do anything, please tell me, Duke wrote. To which Davenport replied, girl, if I had any concerns or problems, you would hear from me. You do a great job. Okay? When Duke first became the director, the county detained kids in a deteriorated 19th century jail separate from the court building. A local newspaper editorial bemoaned the site. the sight that this produced in the public square. Kids shackled together in orange jumpsuits, shuffling along and along the sidewalks and into the judicial building. Not that we're afraid to see juveniles cuffed and heading towards the justice, but it is a disturbing thing that could be avoided if the juvenile court would be held at the detention center, the editorial said. This is another woman. This is Lynn Duke right here. That's this woman right here, this whole fat piece of shit. All right. And they start going into this again. This is the young man's mother that we just showed the picture of. They're suing them. Chapter 5, they're not coming out any better than they went in. Um, I'm just going to read a little bit of it because, like I said, this is 52 pages. Okay, and I'll give you guys. This is ProPublica, and I'll give you the name of the article again at the end of this, and you guys can read the whole article. I can't get through the whole article because it's just that fucking long and it has that much information inside of it. All right. No, let me go to a different part. Let me see. Let me see. There's a portion of this. There were no concerns. I gotta find this shit real quick. There's a one specific part that I want to get at. Let me get to it. Let me find it. Oh wait. It's in the other one. It's in the 52 page one that I have right here. All right. But what it basically says is that, little black kids have been charged and excessively charged more than little white kids in this place. And this is going on across the fucking country. Not too long ago, there was actually a judge that was found to be sending kids to jail for the smallest amount of crimes for indeterminate amount of time periods. And kids sometimes want to get out for 2-3 years for doing very small things like, sneaking out at night or missing school and shit like that. Okay. And this is an ongoing problem, ladies and gentlemen. It goes so deep. This is why when little kids go to schools, and they aren't allowed to go to schools because their hair are braided or their hair is in locks or things of this nature. All of these things matter. All of these things are used in order to make your child feel like they are less than, and this ultimately has a detrimental effect on the ability of your child to do well in school. Because if they're told right off the bat that you are a fucking criminal and you are less than and you are no one, then they're just usually just not even going to go out of their way to actually fucking do well in school. They are going to believe it because this is what the adults are telling them. It goes back to a situation that people aren't really paying attention to very much, which is, let me show you this article, which is, it's up actually. This one just happened a little while ago. Okay, where a teacher calls her students her field slaves. Okay, and you know what? We're gonna fucking play that shit. Let's listen to this shit real quick. Hold on, real quick. We're gonna fucking play this. So let me take this off. Let me stop sharing, and then we're gonna fucking play. Let me see. Okay, there we go. And this is what they do to our black kids consistently, ladies and gentlemen. And see, and this is why I laugh at white folks when they sit here and they say shit like, oh, everybody has an equal chance. Yeah, my motherfucking ass, they got an equal chance. You know what I mean? This is why I laugh at motherfucking people that try to make this bullshit argument. This bullshit argument is getting old.
Carolina school teacher has now resigned because this school teacher thought it was a good idea to tell the black students only in her class that basically back in the day they would have been her field slaves. I kid you not. North Carolina teacher resigns after telling black students they would have been her field slaves if it had not been for the Constitution. Okay, I already know that's a ridiculous statement, but that's what this teacher said. This was an 8th grade class at Wintersville Charter Academy during a lesson regarding the importance of the U.S. Constitution. Parents claim the teacher allegedly requested that all black students stand up, telling them, the black students who are now standing, telling them that if it had not been for the Constitution, they would be her field slaves. Well, I'll be damned. Let me tell you what's not going to happen. No Republican is going to get outraged by this inappropriate curriculum. They're going to still try to tell you that critical race theory is the great evil, even though it's not even taught in K through 12 education. Let me tell you what else will not happen. No Republican legislature will pass a law making it illegal for a teacher to do anything like this in the future. No legislation, no outrage, no nothing. Not a peep, not even a tweet or a comment about this is inappropriate curriculum inside of our school system. No teacher should teach this, nothing. But they tell you that the reason why they're going to school boards and fighting political officials on school board councils, the reason why they're doing all of this is because they really want to fight for the children.
All right, hey, you law, send that article that you sent before because it's way up in the thing. Send it again to me, or if you could, Rob, send it to me in Messenger. One of the two, either inside the room or send it to me in Messenger. I'll pull it up.
The reason why they are anti-critical race theory is because they are advocating for children. But see, their advocacy falls short based on their political ideology. So now you have a clear violation of teaching protocol, curriculum standard, appropriateness. You have all of that. It's right here. This is wrong. You don't single out black students and tell them in front of their white classmates or any classmates that they would have been your damn field slave. You don't do that. But no law will be passed. No Republican will be outraged. Nothing will happen. Okay, the principal sent out a memo days later adding this detail. It was also reported that 2 racially insensitive words were used by multiple children in the classroom without appropriate redirection along with inappropriate response from the educator. Man, that's a lot of code right there. Keep that graphic up, keep it up. Okay, so the principal comes out with this statement saying it was also reported that 2 racially insensitive words. Okay, so they probably, somebody said the N-word, probably, right? All right, 2 racially insensitive words were used by multiple children in the classroom. And then the school teacher decided not to redirect. And then the school teacher had an inappropriate response as well. Wow. The teacher has resigned, once again, not fired, was allowed to resign, and the school will now institute something called proactive training for all school teachers. A mother of one of the students spoke out and said, and I quote, "Clearly, we know that's not how the history works. But what upset me even more, not only is she teaching history and the Constitution wrong, but the fact that she personalized it and made our students stand up, raise their hand, separate themselves from the rest of the class, and say that they would be working for her as field slaves." That comes from Miss Kanisha Tillman, who's a parent there. Now, naturally, everybody watching this, you know the part she left out is that the Constitution created the damn slaves, okay? The whole concept of enslavement. The school serves 661 students, K through 8th grade, with Black or African-American students accounting for almost 61% of the student body. Wow. Adrian, thoughts?
Well, I think the parent was absolutely spot on for the fact that this teacher even is just not historically accurate. The fact is that she was supposed to be talking about an observance of the Constitution Day that really recognizes, I think it was the September 17th, 1787, the adoption of the Constitution as it was originally written. And as you've noted, the fact is that it created slavery, but slavery wasn't abolished until the 13th Amendment, which was years later. So this teacher wasn't even good at their job. They really just seemed to want an opportunity to be racist to these children whom she's supposed to be teaching. Also, the fact that accepting that resignation instead of being terminated allows that teacher to go elsewhere, which again, same kind of problems we see with law enforcement. And then lastly, the fact that now the memo sent to the parents said that they're going to teach against kind of that whole cultural insensitivity training. And the fact is that, no, we need to say this what it is. This isn't about being sensitive. This is about me having an issue with you being racist. So let's just say what it is as opposed to trying to put this light pussyfooting code terminology on it to make everybody feel better who's actually just being racist.
That's it. Right. And here's the thing about resignations. I've said this before. You have to accept a resignation. I'd be damned if I accept your resignation when you've done something like this to children. You will be fired. Okay? I will not accept a resignation from you. Also, let me remind everyone, this school teacher is not a real teacher, not a real educator. Because if you're really teaching about the U.S. Constitution, you're not teaching that slavery was completely abolished through the 13th Amendment. You're teaching the truth of what the 13th Amendment says, that slavery still exists under a different formation and is called in punishment of crime. Slavery is still legal in the United States of America as long as the pretext is available, which is a punishment for criminal behavior. So what happened when they passed the 13th Amendment? They decided to target black bodies to make them criminals or slaves again. That's your 13th Amendment. That's what it says. It actually does not abolish slavery. It creates a different form of it.
All right, so you see what that is. Now we're going to go to this next article real quick that I was just sent, and I heard about this. I didn't even think about it when I was actually doing this, but this is actually a article that is actually quite. It has everything to do with this. So let's put this on the screen real quick. And then I'll get to what you were saying, Shatira. I will get to what you were asking me to do. I'll do that again. It says, Asian man angrily tells black college student to go back to your country. Isn't that... Isn't that like the biggest oxymoron ever? And let's just play this shit. Says my roommate's dad harassing my boyfriend for not wearing a mask in my own room. Right? Oh, wait. I didn't know it had audio. You know what? I'm going to take this down real quick. I'm going to take this down. Okay? And I'm going to play the audio. Let's just play the audio. Let's play the audio with that shit. Because we might as well hear it, right? I would have definitely cussed his ass all the way the fuck out, too. All right, let's listen to this shit.
Okay. So because you didn't wear your mask. But I feel like
oops. Now my computer wants to start acting funky and shit. Now my shit wants to act funny and shit. Hold on, let me see if I can. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Let's see if I can do this. There it is. All right. All right, there it is. Let's see if it'll play this time.
Okay. So you didn't wear your mask.
Oh, it's really not gonna let me, dude. Let me try to do this shit. Let me do that. It's really not gonna let me play this shit. Let me do this. Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. Well, that didn't do that. Hold on. Let's see. There it is. There it is. All right. I think I found it. So let's take that down one more time. I apologize, y'all. I apologize for that. Hold on. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So you didn't wear your mask.
For some odd reason. All right. Let's see. Can y'all hear any of that? You guys can't hear any of that, huh? You can't hear that? Hold on. Because it's not playing the audio for some odd reason. It doesn't want to play the... It's like I can hear it, right? I can hear it. But for some odd reason, it's not showing the audio. It doesn't want to. Let me do this. Bookmark, that's done. Close that out. Now let's close that one, and let's close that one. Let's see if that'll help a little bit. And then let's do this. I don't need that up. What I'll do is I'll do this. I'm going to see if I can do it. You know what I mean? I'm going to see if I can do it. But it's, for some odd reason, giving me an issue with playing this particular. I don't want to see. He said, there we go. There's that. There's that. All right, let's stop right there. All right, let's go right here. Let's try this now. Let's see if this will work. Let's see if this is the one that will make it work. Hopefully this works. Bang. Make sure that stays on.
Okay. So you didn't wear your mask.
All right. Let's do that. Did you hear that? Let's see. And for some odd reason, this shit is not centering, so I apologize, but you can kind of see the video yourself. All right. Let's go right here.
Okay? Because you didn't wear your mask. But like,
See, that motherfucker was just playing all this shit, but now all of a sudden it don't want to play. Funny how that shit works, man. I'm kind of starting to think something because I've been playing these videos and
mask.
But I feel like getting closer.
Okay?
It's not good.
Close your mouth.
oh, come on. Really? This is what we're doing now? I know y'all can hear it now, but this motherfucker doesn't want to fucking work? Really? I swear to God. It's trying to do some shit. I don't know what the fuck this is. And I don't not understand why it's not fucking
English?
playing.
Nah,
Here it
I'm
goes.
actually-
You don't read, right?
Don't read any English.
Okay, you don't read English.
See, it doesn't want me to play this shit for at all. It was just playing this shit, bro. Like I'm
Okay? Because you didn't wear your mask.
But I feel like getting closer.
Okay?
It's not good.
Close your mouth. Wear some mask. Do you read English? Do you read English?
Nah, I'm actually.
You don't read, right?
Don't read any English.
Okay, you don't read English. Then you should go back to your country, man.
I want y'all to hear what she had to say about this shit. And this shit is not motherfucking really. Really, this is what we're doing now? You're gonna act like
I don't know where you're from.
watch.
Is this a joke right now?
No.
See, it keeps on loading up like it can't load up.
Thor, are you just gonna let your dad say this to me?
So what?
Do you know how you guys have been treating me
Huh?
lately? I'm not talking to you guys about it.
Huh?
She even co-signed it on her dad. I hope you guys heard that because this shit is just not playing. But she said, you know how you guys have been treating me lately? I'm not going to say nothing. I haven't been talking. I'm not talking to you guys.
So what?
So go back to my country.
Huh?
Oh my God, this shit is ridiculous, bro.
I don't know. You see, you don't know English. I'm from Hong Kong. I know English.
Not very good, motherfucker.
Come on, what?
You don't know who I am.
Then, come on.
Sir,
Yeah, they are really trying to make me not fucking be able to play this video.
Show me. Show me who you are. I'm nothing.
Oh my God, this shit.
Yes.
are you gonna get your husband, ma'am? Because he's yelling at me, trying to get me.
Did I get? Yeah, beat me.
I'm
Come
not,
on. I'm so scared. I'm scared.
I'm not gonna fight you. This is.
No, I'm scared.
You know, this isn't enough.
I'm scared.
Scared.
Okay. So because you didn't wear your mask.
But I feel like
Anyway, y'all got the gist of that shit. I cannot fucking get this shit to play normally. For some odd reason, it don't want to play normally for me. But y'all get the shift, the gist of it. But I do want you guys to pay attention to one thing, though. You saw how aggressive that man was being. His daughter co-signed that shit. You see what I'm saying? And he's like, the dude is the young black boy is sitting there saying, man, look, what are you trying to do? Trying to get me to fight you or something? He's like, oh yeah, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. You see what I'm saying? But yet we're sitting here talking about anti-Asian violence. Right? That's what's going on here, right, y'all? Anti-Asian violence, that's what this is. That's what this is, anti-Asian violence. Overly aggressive, doing way too damn much. And they're doing this to, like, if you don't understand that these people have understood, they understand completely exactly what the fuck they're doing. Okay? Including these immigrants, then you're blind. If you can't see what these white folks is doing to our kids, half the reason why our kids don't graduate and don't go to college, half the reason is because of the teachers themselves. Half the reason why we're always getting fucking blamed for being overly aggressive and all that is because of narratives, but yet they don't ever play that. This is not a narrative that they will show anywhere because this goes against the ideals of the anti-Asian hate crimes. Yeah, absolutely. Now you got to start pontificating about the dangers of Maylene too. Absolutely you do. See, the thing is ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think that this structure was built in order to keep black folks down, then you're blind. If you don't understand all the different shit that's going on, then you're fucking blind. All these groups have been weaponized against us. Education system is weaponized against us. If you don't understand that fucking the judicial system is weaponized against us, if you don't think that all of these are levels of white supremacy against black folks specifically, then guess what? You're lost in the sauce. Asian folks pushing this narrative that black folks are hyper aggressive against them for no reason. Like, how do you not see this shit? How's it that fucking we do this show every week and I have white folks that come into my shit talking about you're making this up, you're concentrating on race, you're a race baiter and all this other shit, but yet when I show this shit consistently over and over and over and over and over and over and over, they don't ever have anything to say. It's because it's okay for fucking people to treat black folks like shit, but it's wrong for black folks to give the same in kind. I want y'all to pay attention to this shit, man. Remember this shit. Because at the end of the day, man, you have to know what you're dealing with. When you have children in this system, right? Understand that racism they're not excluded from racism. They just don't quite understand it. They don't understand it fully because they're not old enough to really grasp the concept of racism. But at the end of the day, racism is put upon black folks from the minute they come out their mama's womb. Try that one, bro. Let me see. Oh, that's the same one. That's the second one I tried, actually. That's the second one I tried. I mean, that is the second one. Yeah, everybody else understands racism. Black folks, well, here's the thing. I think black folks do understand racism, but the thing is, you know what I mean? Oh, I've showed that many times on here, Mr. Fact. I've showed the black woman, striking. I showed that when I was going through all of the Asian hate crimes and they were talking all this shit to black folks and all this other shit when all that shit was going on. Go look at my past ones. Not only that, but let me point something else out to you, Mr. Fact, or NC Fact, and to everybody else in the room. Do you know that it is damn near impossible to find that video, the videos, all those videos of all the black women that were being attacked by fucking Asian folks? It's almost impossible to find it on YouTube anymore. They've either taken it off or they've made them all private. You know how long it took me to find that just one video? And then I had to look for a whole, like, it took me hella fucking time to find that shit. Go look it up. I bet you're gonna have a hell of a time finding it because they took them all down, violating the guidelines of YouTube or some shit like that. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, man, look, I don't come to bring you bad news. I just came to give you information so you guys can learn how to navigate your way through this situation that we're dealing with. Okay? And no matter what anybody wants to fucking try to say, this shit is a daily issue when it comes to black folks. People love to say stupid shit like, oh, racism doesn't happen that much anymore. Dude, we deal with racism on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, bro. I had to go to one of my old posts on Facebook in order to find that video on my shit. And you know how much time that took me, bro? And because that was like 2 years ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, some shit like that. Took hours to find that shit. This is the shit that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. So there's an active war that is being put upon your kids, putting on you, on black women. You know what I mean? And this is what we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I want y'all to make sure that you pay attention to that. Right. They always want to act like, why are you so angry, right? They always want to fucking say that bullshit. Always. Always. They love saying that shit. They love saying that shit. Why you so angry? You so angry? You angry? You're an angry individual. I know. Usually, I download like if I wanted to if I like remembered about that shit, which I didn't. It just kind of slipped my mind because I was talking more about young kids rather than older kids, right? I would have actually screenshotted that shit and I would have played it on, through another, site that I know works. You know what I mean? So, hey, man, it is what it is. I hope you guys understand, what I brought today. We're going to go deeper inside of it. Like I said, we're going to go deeper inside of the trans situation on the next show that we do. We're definitely going to keep track and we're going to keep on going a little bit deeper. And I think it's worth talking about. We're going to keep on digging a little bit deeper when it comes to CRT and children. And then, you know what? You've kind of reamped my need to tell the truth about the Asian community and how they treat black folks. So I think we're going to go a little bit deeper into that. So be looking out for that because those are going to be the shows that we're going to be talking about a lot late in the next few shows, at least on my channel. Because I'm going to call it out. I'm going to put it out there. Again, just as a review, I think it's okay to critique Dave Chapelle. I think the critique is wrong on Dave Chapelle. I think the trans community, especially the black trans community, needs to recognize why they are wrong in their critique of Dave Chapelle. And I would like for the Black LGBT community to start recognizing that you are Black first and not your sexual orientation or your gender. That's not what you are first. You are Black first. That's number one. Number two, um, we're gonna get back on the CRT, and and we're gonna get back onto kids, Black children who are detrimentally affected by the way that they're being treated in education, the education system, and how they're being treated with the judicial system. We're going to be talking a little bit more about CRT, and we're going to be getting down to the bottom of what CRT is. We're going to really kind of break it down maybe one more time so I can just have people go back to check it out. And last but not least, we are going to do another show proving, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going to do this shit right now because this has been kind of a short show. So I got enough time. So I got time today. I got fucking time. I got a little bit of time today. So we're going to do that shit. Fuck it. We're going to break this down. For all the people that haven't been able to see this shit before, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. The anti-Asian hate crime bullshit is bullshit. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. All right. Do 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 do. 20. Hold on. FBI hate crimes .gov hate crime. Oops. 2020. There we go. So let's put this on the screen real quick. All right, this is FBI.gov. As you can see, it goes all the way to 2019. So again, it goes all the way down to 1995, but you can actually get the 19 go. You can actually go back as far as 2000 or 1991 if you request it. All right. Hold on. See, this is the old one. Let's go to 2000. I don't want to do these. I want to go to 2002. Nope. Let's go here. 2006. There we go. Offenders. I believe it's table 7. Here's 2006. All right. I want you guys to pay attention to this. Hold on. Is this it? No. That's not the one. It's not 7. Let's go 8. No, let's go 5. There we go. It's table 5. So for all you guys that want to look this up, you can look this up yourself. It's FBI.gov. Hate crimes. Go 2019 because that's the last one that they have. Then you go to table 5. Okay. So anti-Asian Pacific Islander. That's what that is right there. Okay. By Black folks, 30. Okay. Anti-Black. Let's go. Let's pull this down. Let's go. Boop, boop, boop. This is Asian. Right? Pacific Islander. is Asian / Pacific Islander. Anti-black, right? Watch this, 15. Now, the thing is if you now the way you have to do the math is this, and I want you to understand, and this actually changes more. In 2006, Asian folks made up, I believe, something like 3 or 4% of the population. So you would have to multiply this, or 3 or 4% of the number of black folks in this country. So you have to equal up the number of black folks against Asians, right? So you have to times this by 3 or 4, right? Times this number by 3 or 4 at the time. And I believe 2006 they were at something like 3% of the population. Black folks made up 13%. So 4 times 4. So 15 times 4, if their numbers were the same as ours, the number would be roughly around 45. Okay? 45 to 60 hate crimes. That's way more than the 30 hate crimes that we supposedly committed against them. Okay? Now, go back again. This is 2006. Let's go to 2007. Again, still, they're about 3 to 4 times, 3 to 4 times smaller as a group. Okay? Black folks, right here, Asian Pacific Islander, right here, black folks, 18. Okay, anti-black, again, got to move it over a little bit. Asian Pacific Islanders, right here, 10, right there. So again, 3 to 4 times is 30 to 40. So they are committing hate crimes against us at a higher clip than we are against them. Let's do this shit again. I can do this shit all day. Go back. That's 2007. Let's go to 2008. Again, offenders. Okay. They don't have it up here. Oh, wait, let me see. Let me make sure. There it is. Tried to hide it. There it is. Table 5, 2008. Again, anti-Asian Pacific Islanders, black folks, 15. Here it is, anti-black. Okay, Asian Pacific Islanders, again, they're about 3 to 4 times our size. Again, look at it, times 3, 4. Okay, times 3. They're killing us when it comes down to, how many times they're committing hate crimes against us. 15 and 12. Okay, 15 hate crimes by black folks, 12, and they're 3 or 4 times smaller. Again, times that by 3 or 4. Let's go 3 because we'll give them the benefit of the doubt that they're growing at this time. Again, that's 36. 36 hate crimes against us compared to the 15 that we did against them. Again, this is not up for debate. I don't care what nobody fucking says. You can say whatever the fuck you want. This is not up for debate. Here goes 2009. Again, offenders. Again, table 5. Again, let's do it. Again, anti-Asian. Black folks. Again, look at that. 72 by white folks. 11 by black folks. Anti-black. By Asian. 11. 10. We committed 10 against them. Again, they committed 11 against us as a smaller population. Times that by 3 or 4. That's 33. That's more than double the amount of hate crimes by ratio than we committed on them. Again, pay attention. I can do this shit all day. Y'all want fucking facts and evidence? Here's facts and evidence right here. I don't give a shit what the fuck y'all want to talk about. Let's go to 2010. Okay, let's go to offenders again. Let's go to table 5 again. Like, this isn't up for fucking debate with me, dude. You're not going to sit here and tell me that black folks is going around fucking committing hate crimes against fucking Asian people. Again, here it is, 13, right? Anti-black by Asian Pacific, right? Right here, boom. Go right over Asian Pacific, 20. 20. Now, they're a lower population, right? but they're committing more motherfucking hate crimes against us, 20. Now times that by 2 or 3. Again, well, actually it's 3 or 4 again for 2010. Bang. Again, people, this is not up for debate. This is not up for debate at all for me. I don't give two shits about what anybody says. I've already fucking proven my point. Let's go 2 years ahead. Let's go fucking 2012. Offenders, again, table 5. Again, this is not up for fucking debate. Anti-Asian Pacific Islanders. Black folks, 18. Anti-black go across to Asian. Again, it's 10 times that by 3 or 4. Again, they're committing them at higher rates than we are because they are a smaller community than us. Again, let's keep on going. 2014. Again, I'm just doing this by every other year because it's going to give you the same numbers every single time. Anti-Asian, bang, by black folks, 37. This is a high year. Anti-black or African American by Asians. Now, this is 1 year that we beat them, 3 to 4 times that by 3 or 4. It's about 28 or 27 to 36. So it's kind of even that year. This is kind of an even year of hate crimes committed against each other. Again, that's 2014. Let's go down to 2015. Okay, 2015. Offenders. Okay, let's go to table 5. Real simple. Anti-Asian. Okay, anti-Asian against black, 32. Anti-black goes to Asians, 22. Again, 3 times the size. More. Okay, again, by ratio, these motherfuckers commit more hate crimes against us than we commit against them. 2016. Again, offenders. Go to table 5. Again, it's just telling you who it is. Anti-Asian. Okay, black. 20 crimes. Look at this. White people, 3 times as many hate crimes against fucking Asian folks as black folks, but they want to keep on fucking pointing out black folks, right? Well, here we go. African American by Asian people. Again, do that same shit times 3. At this point, they're 3, not 4 times small. They're 3 times small every group. Even if you said 2 to 3 times small every group, they're committing more hate crimes again against us, again, because you can double that, and that is going to be at a higher ratio. They're committing more hate crimes against black folks than we are committing hate crimes against them. 2018, let's get it. Agencies, offender, table 5, every single time. I'm going to show you this shit. Anti-Asian, 70 by white people, 33 by black folks. Anti-black or black or African American, again going over to Asian, 34 against 33. Again, they're committing more crimes straight up. Now let's times it by 2 or 3. Again, you see the rate is completely different. They commit more hate crimes against us than we do against them. Again, 2019, the most latest one that they have. Again, this is at the beginning of the pandemic. Again, anti-Asian right here. Black folks, 30 right here. Okay, anti-black go across. Asian, 19. At this point, they are 2 times, so double that number. In 2019, they're half the size of us. Double that number, 38. 38 compared to motherfucking 30. Again, they are beating us in the ratio when we're talking about hate crimes. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't up for fucking debate. I don't really give two shits what anybody tells you. Okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. I just showed you for yourself. You can do it for yourself. This isn't up for debate, ladies and gentlemen. I don't fucking do this shit just for shits and giggles. I do this shit because guess what? That's what it is. I don't have a problem fucking saying, oh, black people commit more hate crimes against any group. I don't have a problem with that. But the facts of the matter is, when we're talking about the rate of hate crimes committed against each group, yeah, we're not the one. We are not the one. You better go talk to white people about that shit, Asians. And stop demonizing black folks. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just showing you the vitriol of what it is, what we deal with by all these motherfucking groups. All right. So with that being said, man, I've given you the stories. I've given you the fucking everything that you needed. I've given you the information. Ladies and gentlemen, all you got to do is use this information properly. Yeah, he sure did. And he's been right for fucking, because again, he predicted that way back in the fucking 80s. That started being correct in the 90s. He's been right for a long time. All right, man. Look, check this out, everybody. I appreciate everybody coming out and watching the show. I know it was kind of, not as long as usual. It's not quite, as deeply involved as usual, because the fact of the matter is again, I didn't even think I was going to come on tonight. I'm just going to be completely fucking honest. I did not think I was going to come on tonight. I was like, maybe I'll do this shit. You know what I mean? So I apologize for the short start, but but at the same time, at the exact same time, I appreciate y'all coming out. But I gave you guys a lot of information. This is my guy Lace 3434. If you guys all the instrumentals in the background, go check out his shit, Lace 434. But I've given you guys a lot of information today, even though it was kind of short and kind of impromptu. I've given you a lot of information today. And I really would appreciate if you guys went and checked out some of these things. And, I don't want you guys to just take my word for it. I want you to do your own due diligence and fucking, correct me if I'm wrong, critique me if I'm wrong. But if I'm not wrong, then y'all need to start showing everyone else this. It's just that simple. All right. So with that being said, everybody, man, I hope you have a beautiful motherfucking night. Stay real, stay black, stay doing your motherfucking thing. This has been your regular showing of Reality Check Virtual Radio. And real quick, before you guys get up and fucking leave, next weekend, I believe, or next week, next Wednesday, I'm probably going to have to do the show on Tuesday because I believe I am working next Wednesday. So if I am working next Wednesday, I will let you guys know, but we're going to have the show on Tuesday rather than Wednesday. And then the following week, we should be back on Wednesday. All right. So make sure you fucking come by. Make sure you look out for our streams. Make sure you look out for Blacklight Revelation streams. Look out for my live streams, Reality Check Virtual Radio. We out here just trying to get it. Thank you for your time, your energy, and everything else that you put into it, because without you, there is no me. If you can, drop a Cash App, a Venmo. Cash App is Reality Check VR2. Reality Check VR2. Venmo is at Dabbing Stuff LLC, at Dabbing Stuff LLC. If you guys want to help out, everything goes right back to the channel. Everything goes to cover fucking what I do for research, all the books that I buy, everything that I fucking put out here. Support your local black businesses and make sure that you're B1 first. Make sure you understand that. To my black LGBT family out there, look, man, ain't nobody fucking hating on you. We just need you guys to understand that this thing called white supremacy is pervasive in every single community, and it doesn't matter if you want to associate yourself with the LGBT community, but make sure you understand that they understand that your race comes first too. So you should start understanding that shit. Your race should always come before your gender. And I'm not trying to make you become black supremacist or anything like that, but they recognize that you're fucking black too. And that's why they put you on the bottom barrels and they only use you as tokens. And you need to we all need to make sure that we support each other. So be one first and then everybody else. All right. With that being said, have a great motherfucking day. Stay up, stay doing your motherfucking thing. And we shall fucking be talking to you fucking later. Have a beautiful fucking night. We're out of here.